Hi guys. Today let's talk about customer experience and perception and how you can align these two ideas to your business and build a sustainable company for yourself. We belong to a space in Africa, an ecosystem in Africa where startups and many small businesses do not thrive. Maybe from the onset they are able to to launch with great promising ideas, great initiatives, but after a few months or a few years, they are no more. Or have you ever seen many market women or street stalls around where you have someone who have stocked his or a shop to the brim, and after a while there's there's nothing in the shops anymore, and you begin to wonder what are the underlying challenges that are leading to you know to premature death of this kind of businesses. um, One of the insights that we've noticed has to do with customer experience, right? We've noticed that customers are very much businesses are very much focused on selling, on sales, on operations, on revenue, with less focus on ensuring that customers have good experience. Let's focus on ensuring that customers perceive them as a customer obsessed environment, right? So you see, and it has often been proven over time that for you to have a business that is sustainable, you must have customers who are your loyalists and customers who are also your evangelists. But customers can be your loyalists, they can be evangelists if you are not offering them great customer experience. Competence is not enough. Quality of goods and services are not enough. Sometimes you also need to look at the other touch point. It has to do with your resolution time, your response time, empathy of your staff towards your clients and customers. All these other ideas are things that makes customers always come back to buy from you. And people would ask, why do I need to care about my customer? And I said earlier, great customer experience leads to good customer retention. If you are the type of business that rely on new customers every time, every year, for you to build your business, then you don't have a sustainable business. In fact, you may be making the best of profits now, but the going concern of your business is is under threat. There are questions around the continuous extent of that particular business. Why? Because you are only selling to new customers. So what happens when you have challenges with acquiring new customers? Are you able to rely on the old customers to come back to buy, or can those old customers even recommend you to their friends and families? This is the reason why retention is customer experience is very important, because you are able to retain customer and build a long and sustainable business, right? And then people have also asked, okay, now that it is clear, the customer experience, okay, fine. What are the other ways that we need to what are the ways that I can use, to gain the insights as far as customer experience is concerned? How do I understand how my customers perceive me? So there are many ways to look at this, right? And one of the ways that you can approach this is through sending of surveys to the customers, and that is where the idea of NPS come in. NPS means Net Percentile Survey. It's basically talking about um, the level you are when it comes to your customers' happiness with you and the possibility of your customers recommending you to their friends and families. So NPS explains to the investor um, the 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 possibility of a business lasting longer based on the loyalty that has been shown by your customers, right? And you can send NPS, which is a survey, of course, to your customers as simply as simple as possible, asking them to rate you on the basis of 1 to 10. Whatever your customer rates you from 1 to 10 determines how they view you. If your customers are able to rate you from 1 to 3, low scores, right? What it means is that your customers are not happy with you, and they are most likely not going to recommend it to their friends and families, and they would even make bad comments about your product, to others. But if you get a median score, for example, from your customer, what it means is that your customers are happy with you. No, what it means is that your customers are indifferent. They're indifferent, right? They are neither here nor there, and the likeliness of them recommending you to others is very slim. But if your customers are the promoters, those who have given you the highest of scores, these are customers who love you, who love your product, who are very much likely to come back to buy, and they will still go further to recommend you to others. And you begin to wonder, why do I need to know the promoters, detractors, and passives? You need to know it because it is when you know your detractors that you can now further approach them to understand why they have rated you so badly. And then they get to start to explain to you either that they don't like about your services. It could be the way your attendance talk to your customers, it could be the way your your product taste. It could be the way it could be the way it could be your it could be your SLA, right? Maybe you're offering a legal service, right, or a bricklaying service or a plumbing service, and then you take too much time to get your job done. That way you're able to get more insights from your customers. And if you even if customers have rated you so well, you also need to know why they rated you so well. That way, you are able to replicate the service that you have offered such customers to the other customers who are not rating you well, right? So it is important to know how your customers feel, because in the end, if you don't know how they feel, then you cannot solve their problem and they are not going to come back. If they don't come back, you are not building a sustainable business. It might be a profitable business today, it doesn't mean that you are sustainable. Customers may be buying from you because you are the only one that sells around that area, or you're the only one in the market, or your product is very cheap. But it comes to a point when competitors also step into the same field with you, or they also innovate by reducing prices. How then do you survive in the market? And then sustainability issues start to creep in. So I hope you have learned a bit about customer experience and why it's important to understand why your customers it's important for you to know how your customers perceive you, and areas that you can use to collect responses from your customers, and also how you can implement those ideas into and implement those ideas and inject them into your current business strategy. See you next time. Thank you.